from louleigh.co.uk. I'm on Ravelry as louleigh and Instagram as Instamatic louleigh, and I have a bag shop at Shop Louleigh on Etsy. Welcome to the factory where I make my bags. This is predominantly a knitting podcast. And if you come here regularly, you'll know that I have just come back from a month in New Zealand. So this podcast is going to be a little bit different. I did take some video and some pictures while I was out there, and this is going to be a cobbled together job. I'll warn you now, the sound quality is terrible. I don't have makeup on all the time. I think there's one bit where I've actually been awake for 24 hours and I'm in an airport. I have put in some video and some photographs that I took while I was in New Zealand, but I hope you understand that it's not really a sightseeing trip for me, it's a people trip. So I probably didn't take as many pictures of that sort of thing as you might expect. So it is what it is, and I have put together what I have. I wanted to say thank you for all of your lovely kind wishes. A lot of you got in touch with me on Instagram and various other places, and it was lovely to hear what you call your jandals. Flip-flops, I've forgotten what the other, was it clip-clapper? Clip-clap? There are a few others there, but anyway, that was really interesting. Thongs. So yes, thank you for getting in touch and for all of your lovely wishes. I have another thank you, and that is to Lara from the Four Knits, because she's doing a wonderful giveaway for her Quince & Co knit along, and she has my bag, one of my bags, as a prize. So if you're knitting with Quince & Co, which is not a yarn we get here very regularly, then pop over there and join in. So yes, with no further ado, here's the random stuff. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm in Singapore airport and it's actually reasonably busy here, but you can probably hear all the background noise and people and radios and things. But I have found myself sat in Costa with a whole section to myself, and I can't really work out why nobody else has discovered this section. So I thought I would do the sock segment from here. I've got my coffee. I'm having to hold the camera myself, so this could go horribly wrong. Never mind. And I've got a chip stuck in my throat. Crisp. I must start talking English again. So, I have finished sock 1. You've seen these ones before. The colours are not good today. Never mind, bear with. If you want to see a better picture of these, you can go and have a look at my Ravelry page. So this is a sock for my mother outlaw. I'm using the stitch pattern from the blueberry waffle sock, and I have done a square heel, which I do quite regularly, and I have done a wedge toe for this one. Not sure why I decided to do that. It was just a thing at the time. Yes, I have come through security, and on these socks I have... Step back. The yarn is Ladybug yarn. So on these socks I am using 2.25mm high-highs, which I like. It's not normal for me to knit on a circular, but it does mean that you can't drop your needles downside of the seat. So there we go, that's the first sock of the sock segment. I'm going to rearrange things and put the phone down, and I'll be back for part 2. Welcome back to part 2 of the sock segment here at Singapore Changi Airport.
I'm waiting for my next flight. I've been awake for 24 hours. But hey ho. Anyway, part 2 of the sock segment. So, whilst I was in New Zealand, I had this crazy idea that I would run out of yarn. Now, given that I bought enough yarn to make 2 toddler size sweaters and had bought 2 pairs of socks in progress, this was complete paranoia. But anyway, I went out and I bought myself some new yarn. Those colours aren't actually showing up too badly. And it is called Happy Feet. Now I can see that backwards, but I'm not sure if that will be backwards for you as well. But anyway, it's Happy Feet. And I have just started a vanilla sock. Whoops, it's all in a tangle here. Vanilla sock with this. That colour is terrible. I am using 2.5mm Knit Pro cubics, which I like except for the weight. And as you can see, I have my monster stoppers on the end. And the fellows in security were very intrigued by this little configuration. I watched them watching it on the screen and going, ooh, I wonder what that was. And they guessed macrame. But anyway, so I set them right. They quite enjoyed the monsters, and I continued on my merry way with my needles intact. And I'm going to do a different coloured heel, because that's what you do these days. I bought this is actually the same yarn, and it's called a poppets. You can get these tiny little balls of yarn. Isn't that cute? I thought, I don't know if the colour will come up properly, so this might look really daft. The colours aren't coming up super well, but those will look okay. So anyway, there you are, the sock segment from Singapore. Cheerio! Hello, back again. I just realised that I wanted to add one more thing to the sock segment, because I don't think I have talked about this pattern that I've been using. And in all honesty, I don't actually use the pattern. What I use is this chart down the bottom. It's free, so I'm not giving away any secret sauce. But these are the dimensions that I use when I'm not doing socks for me. So I'm actually thinking I should just cut out that grid and laminate it or something, because it gives me all the lengths and the number of stitches to cast on, and I know that I get about the right gauge, and then I just guess a bit. So mainly I use it for the foot length, to know how long to start the toe after I finish the heel, and to give me an indication on how long to make the leg as well. I think I've used it for size 3 and size 5, and you know, it goes, these are UK sizes. It goes from little kids size 5 socks right up to size 12 UK. Yeah, so that's just a handy little thing I've been using. Cheerio!
So today I have on a cardigan which I have brought back from New Zealand with me. My mother knitted this in the 70s and she did a wonderful job. She doesn't knit anything this complicated now. Anyway, she knitted in the 70s. She thinks it was the 70s. She's not sure which of her children were born at that point. And it's an Aran jumper. I pilfered this as a teenager for myself. And looking at it now, I can say I was a mucky teenager and it needs a clean. The other thing is that it's starting to come apart at some of the seams, so it needs a bit of repair as well. But I am very pleased to have brought this back to the UK with me. There probably was a pattern, no idea what it was. Yeah, so it will keep me snugly and warm while I'm here, and I shall continue to wear it. Don't even know what the yarn was, she had no idea, but I suppose, what is it, 40 years interim? You're entitled to forget. So anyway, that is what I'm wearing today.
Hello. I've decided to try podcasting on the go, on the hoof as it may be. The sun is right there, and if I tilt my hat forward you can't really see the whites of my eyes. So anyway, we'll do our best. And I've also realised there's a lot of background here. I'm in my parents' garden, and you can probably hear the road, and the airport is just over yonder, so you can probably hear the odd aeroplane swooping around us there as well. They have a pilot training school there, so they come hovering around, and well, not hovering, they're not exactly, well anyway, they're practicing. Anyway, okay, I'm not sure you can see me, all I can see is reflection, but anyway, we'll do our best and see how we go, because I just wanted to pop in and show you my finished snowflake. This is a tin can knit pattern, and I have made it out of louleigh. And if you watched the previous episode, you'll know that I was intending for this one to be for my larger niece. However, I didn't do a gauge swatch, and it has turned out the perfect size for my smaller niece. It's a good thing I've got two nieces. So there you go. So I'm going to gift this to them before I zoom off back to the UK tomorrow. And as I had said, I finished that in the first week that I was here, and I was so excited I thought I was going to run out of yarn. So I purchased more. But anyway, there was no show of running out of yarn because I bought 2 pairs of unfinished socks as well. But anyway, you probably won't actually get to see this one finished, but this is the second one. I think I need to, once I've finished the second sleeve and worked out how much yarn I have left, I think I shall make the body a bit longer, because, hello Mr. Bee, oh, there's a big old bumblebee. Not sure what sort of bombus that one is, but anyway, it'll be one of the bombus family. To be honest, I only know bombus terrestrius and bombus rufus, and anyway, this is louleigh as well. My gauge, I used the first one as a massive gauge swatch and worked out that I was terribly off, so I reworked this. Well, basically I just knitted up a size, but I've done the lengths for to go with the width rather than just to go with the larger size that I thought I was knitting. Does that make sense at all? Okay, so what I did was I worked out how wide it was going to be, and then looked up on the pattern to see what size that width would normally fit for, and knitted the lengths for that particular size. So I haven't just gone up a size and knitted the lengths that it said for that size. I sort of did it in proportion with the width. I hope that made sense. If it didn't make sense and you're interested, just ask me a question and I'll try and articulate myself a little more clearly. But anyway, apparently my phone only records in short bursts, so anyway, I'm sure I can manage with that. The only adjustments I've made to this pattern were where I went wrong and needed to, I've just fudged it and made it so it looks right. I've made the 3/4 length sleeve because my nieces live in a, I don't know, not a terribly warm climate, but not as cold as they used to. It doesn't snow where they live now. They used to live in the deep dark south, but anyway. Yeah, so I've made the 3/4 length sleeve because that's much easier for wielding your arms while you're playing. And I'm not sure if I've got 24 hours to finish this. Yes, I've still got a full 24 hours, so at least. I might have to put it in the post at Auckland Airport. But I really enjoyed the pattern. The lacy bit required a little bit of attention, which was great for on the plane, and then I could do all the sleevey bits when I was chatting to people, so that's been really nice. Yes. And as I said, I was worried about, I'm hoping to cast something new on the plane, but I've still got a pair of socks to finish, and I should probably do that, but I don't know. As I said, I bought new yarn, so I'm quite excited about starting with that, but I shall tell you more about that when I get going with it and get home. Now you can't see, I can't really see what I'm looking at all, but anyway. So those are my snowflakes. Great pattern, really enjoyed it. I only had to make changes because I'd been stupid. So I'll see you back in England. Bye.
So here we are at the indie bits, which is actually very weird because I've just done the beginning bits and it doesn't feel like there's any content in between, but hopefully I've edited in there and you all enjoyed it, and I will be back to normal next time, and I'm going to put a little slideshow at the end of the bags that are in the shop. So cheerio, and I'll see you next time.